What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Two Canadians Football Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Episode 1, 2023.
Season 2.
We are like to welcome you back. Hope you guys and gals are having a decent year.
So far, so good.
Let's get right into the football talk. Today on this episode, we will be talking about the release of the 2023 NFL schedule.
Yeah, big day today. Exciting to have the schedule release. National Leak Day. So many games were released or leaked ahead of time that it wasn't as, climactic as they hope by hosting all these shows right at 7 o'clock. But 7 o'clock made everything official. So nice to see how the schedule's breaking down for everyone's favorite Minnesota Vikings.
At first glance, when you look at this schedule, Miller, what do you see? What do you like? What do you hate?
Well, I know what I don't like is having to travel to Philadelphia on a short week for week 2. That sucks. So that's like pretty much almost like an automatic loss in Philly on week 2. So you really got to win the first one to start 500. And then, so that's a bit of a downer. But at least then you got a couple extra days to prepare for the LA Chargers the following week at home. So that's nice. Week 4. Oh, yeah. So sorry. So something else that sticks out. 2 weeks in a row, you have revenge games for two long-time former Vikings. In week 3, you've got Kendricks coming back to play the Vikings as a member of the LA Chargers. That'll be an emotional game for him, I'm sure. He'll probably have a very big game. And then the following week, at Carolina versus Adam Thielen. His first game, both of those are going to be their first games not wearing Vikings uniforms. Both of them transitioning to various shades of blue. Should be fun. I bet Thielen has a great game that week, but it is against a rookie quarterback, and I expect the Vikings to win both of those games actually. Then the following week, they follow that up with Kansas City in Minnesota. That's going to be a tough one, obviously. And so far, so that means we're already looking at, week 2, they're at Philadelphia. Of course, they're playing at Philadelphia on a primetime game, a Thursday nighter. So, like always, the Vikings get to face one of the best teams in the NFL in primetime at their house. That seems to always be the way they do it. Oh, Kirk Cousins sucks in primetime. Well, yeah, if you always got to play Philadelphia in Philadelphia in primetime, your record would probably be pretty bad too. Anyway, I digress. Chicago. So the Kansas City game is a 3:25 standalone. So that's like the America's game of the week or whatever they want to call it. You got at Chicago. Always tough playing in Chicago, but hopefully the Bears are still down or still one more year away from becoming relevant. So hopefully they win that guy. Then you got San Francisco, week 7. That's a primetime game. 7:15 against the always difficult San Francisco 49ers. And I believe that's a Monday nighter. So then after playing a really tough game against a San Francisco team that beats you down, like they're very physical, then you got to go on the road to Green Bay on a short week and play Green Bay Packers. That's a nice scheduling quirk for the Packers, if I do say so myself. Then, on the road at Atlanta, that should be a win. Even though Atlanta should be improved, they still got question marks on that defense and then at quarterback, so I don't know, we'll see. Then the following week, New Orleans Saints. A lot of newness with those Saints, so that'll be, I don't know. I don't really know what to expect from that team this year. Follow that up with at Denver, another primetime game, 7:20 p.m. So it's funny. Here's another funny scheduling quirk. You're going against New Orleans. Then the following week, you're playing New Orleans' former coach, Sean Payton, with the Denver Broncos. Interesting. That's in Denver. That's a tough one. I think Denver is a team that's going to rebound hard this year. They should be a lot better than they were last year. Then Chicago in Minnesota. That's whatever. It is what it is. At Las Vegas. That's... Oh, sorry. Okay, Chicago. And then you've got a bye week. So a late season bye, which, I don't know. It's nice, I guess, if you're some of your guys are worn down or you got some nagging injuries and stuff. It's good to get a week to rest your guys before you start going for that push, that playoff push. But you don't get to self-scout. You don't get to do anything until then. So you don't get that week to kind of, especially for younger coaches or younger players, to kind of self-evaluate and try and fix things that you're not doing right. So anyway, the late season bye, good and bad. Then at Las Vegas, that's one I would love to make a trip to Vegas with some friends to try and catch that one, but we'll see. It's an early December game. Then week 15 is against Cincinnati in Cincy. That's a tough one. That one is to be determined, so they don't even know what day that's going to be. If it's going to be a Saturday, if it's going to be a Sunday game, is it going to be prime time? Who knows? We'll see. Then Detroit comes to Minnesota. This is a weird too. At the end of the season here, they have Detroit, Green Bay, Detroit. So they're going to play Detroit 2 out of 3 weeks, the final 3 weeks. I mean, that just screams split, right? One team's going to win one game, one team's going to win the other one. Like, I don't know. I don't really like that. With Green Bay stuck in the middle on New Year's Eve. That's going to be a drunk fest. Green Bay, primetime game, 7:20, New Year's Eve. So that means the whole stadium is going to be getting loose, getting ready for that Sunday night game against the Packers. The last week is at Detroit. So very interesting schedule. Obviously, the schedule makers are planning on Detroit and Minnesota both being good teams by having them play each other twice at the end of the season to try and decide the division, or so they anticipate. You never know for sure, but.
So for all the Vikings listeners out there, you have the Vikings going what?
Yeah, good question. I had them down at 11-6, or maybe a less optimistic 10-7. I would say if they really get lucky and have things go their way, fall their way, you get a couple bounces, you maybe end up 12-5. Things go the other way, maybe you got some bad injury luck, blah blah blah. I could see like 9-8. So in that kind of range of outcomes, 9-12 wins. At least that's what I see. Looking at this today on, what are we? May, what's today? 12th?
May 11th.
May 11th. There you go.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. That's why we love sports, because anything can happen. You try and count some chickens before they hatch, and,
Then you end up with ducks.
Yeah, like I'm excited to, there's still some moving pieces. We don't know if Dalvin Cook will be a Viking.
I would say there's like about 5% chance that he ends up a Viking this year.
Yeah. There's another new piece into the system there, Mr. Addison, wide receiver. I'm very excited to see what he can do with the Vikings on the field.
Yeah, can't wait. He should be like much better version of what Thielen was last year. I mean, he may not be prime Thielen. Thielen was a really good player for a long time. But last year's Thielen, actually, let's be honest, the last 2 seasons, he hasn't really been what he used to be. Injuries are starting to catch up with him. He was an undrafted free agent. Let's all remember that. It's not like this guy was a first-round talent, that got drafted and just came in. his skills are going to erode just like everyone else's. And this guy was an undrafted player who built himself into a Pro Bowl wide receiver. And he didn't just bust in and then start when he was like a 21-year-old. He had to work his way up. So by the time he was, a Pro Bowl player, he was already in his, mid-20s, starting to work his way towards his upper 20s. So that shelf life isn't going to be, a super long shelf life for a player like that. So he was a great player for probably as long as you could have hoped for the Vikings, but everyone's time comes to an end, and the last couple of years have been a little less than stellar for Mr. Thielen, unfortunately.
A couple tidbits regarding this schedule. There are 4 teams that won't be appearing in any primetime games in 2023. The Cardinals, the Falcons, the Texans, and the Colts.
Really? Huh. No Falcons in primetime?
Although Atlanta and the Colts will be in exclusive international windows. So I think there's a game in Frankfurt or a few games in Germany.
Yeah, 2 in Germany, 3 in England, I think is the plan. I believe.
So when looking at the schedule, week 1, I think my favorite game is going to be the Monday night game. We got Mr. Aaron Rodgers with his new look Jets against the Buffalo Bills.
That'll be fun to watch. The Jets get stomped on national TV by Buffalo. Oh, man, that should be excellent.
And also, a side note, I'm pretty sure Damar Hamlin will be returning to the field that game. Like, that's what's being expected of him. So that's a great story from Mr. Hamlin, and we hope to see him on field.
Yeah, that's great. Hopefully he makes the team and he's made a full recovery and he's all good. I like the first game just because I'll be super excited for the NFL season to start. See Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs out there to kick some Detroit butt. We'll get a first look at Gibbs, the Detroit rookie running back that everyone cries about being drafted too high.
Well, yeah, that the first game of the season there, Detroit at the Chiefs.
Yeah,
it's a decent. It's a good opportunity for more of the casual fans to become acquainted with the passionate Campbell-run team, and you got Aiden Hutchinson, Amon St. Raw, and you got Jamar Gibbs there now. It could be those lowly Lions. I don't think they'll be lying too low for much longer.
Yeah, well, they stepped up last year. They were battling. Towards the end of the year, they were right in the hunt for a playoff spot.
Another little tidbit. For the first time, the league will slot a game on the day after Thanksgiving. So the Jets will be hosting the Dolphins on November 24th. Even better, the kickoff will be at 3 p.m. Eastern time, giving plenty of time for turkey prep and all that shit to wear off, right?
Oh, interesting. So are there 3 Thursday games, and then there's a Black Friday game as well?
I haven't checked the full Thursday schedule, but I do know there's a Black Friday game. So.
Probably. Huh. The Jaguars are doing back-to-back weeks in England. That's a weird one.
Yeah, another little tidbit. The best international matchup is going to be the Dolphins-Chiefs. Yeah, that will be in Germany, so good for all those people over there. Like, that's a real treat.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. The top 2 picks of the 2023 draft should be squaring off October 29th when Young's Carolina Panthers host C.J. Stroud's Houston Texans.
Oh, that's fun. Make sure you get those fantasy defenses ready for that one, because there should be a lot of interceptions thrown between rookie quarterbacks.
Remember how the Eagles had the easiest schedule last year?
Yeah,
Well, this year
the
is
toughest.
This year is no cakewalk.
Quote unquote toughest. Those things are always subjective.
The Eagles' opponents have a collective .566 winning percentage based on last year's records.
Yeah, well, I think part of that too. I think most of the NFC East has a tough schedule because they all play each other twice, and that division actually ended up with really good records last year. I think that the year previously, I think we joked about how that was such a cakewalk division, and then the following year, as in this past year, they were like the toughest division in football. So that's if you all have to play each other twice, of course that division's schedule is going to look more difficult according to the stats.
Pressure is on for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
6, maybe 7 national stages, including Black Friday and a season-opening minefield that includes the Bills, Cowboys, Patriots, and Chiefs, and Eagles before Week 7 bye.
Patriots. Psh.
Will Aaron Rodgers help the Jets with their playoff drought? The longest team since 2010 to not make the playoffs.
Really? They're the longest? Huh. I didn't know that. Which team cracks the drought quicker, the Winnipeg Jets or the New York Jets?
Whoa. Are you crossing sports now?
I guess, yeah.
No.
Are we talking championships or are we just talking making the playoffs? Because if we're just talking playoffs, I mean, obviously our Jets are way ahead of the New York Jets on that.
Since we're here, do we want to bring out the bold sports prediction?
Oh.
Do you want to start that? Should we start that?
I mean, we could. Sure.
Do you have any bold sports predictions, Miller?
Give me a second to think about this. Give me a second here. What should I say? Yeah, okay. Let's just fire this gun. I'm just gonna go ahead out on a limb here and say that Anthony Richardson is gonna be the number 1 rookie quarterback for fantasy points this season.
Bold. I definitely we all like his upside, right?
Right. He's very raw, and who knows if he's even gonna pan out at all.
And who even knows when he gets his first start? They do have Gardner Minshew there, right?
Yeah. Who could just take the job and run with it?
We've all seen what Minshew can do, and he has had some good games.
Definitely. Just as he's always kind of had an up and coming quarterback just right there behind him, so he always has to hand the keys over to the next guy.
All right, so just to recap, and for my bold sports prediction, we're going to keep it NBA because we got some NBA playoffs right now, round 2. I'm going to say Golden State beats the Lakers. They were down 3-1. They won last game, so it's 3-2 Lakers. But I'm going to say Golden State wins the next 2 games to advance to the Western Conference Final. Go Clay, go Steph.
Yeah, that's super bold. I love it because I just don't want that to happen so badly. So I can cheer against it.
So there you have it, guys. A little NFL schedule recap and a couple bold sports predictions. A little in-depth look on the Vikings schedule in there as well for all you Vikings fans.
Yeah.
And going forward, you may get to see our faces at some point. We are definitely talking about adding the video to go along with the audio. So,
yeah, expanding the pod.
Yeah. Onward and upward from here.
Yeah, let's do it.
To all you subscribers, thanks for sticking around. And as usual, comment. We'll reply. Tell us what you think. What games are you looking forward to in week 1? Or
yeah, love to hear any feedback about the upcoming NFL schedule. Everyone's looking forward to it. I have no doubt.
And look for the next episode. I'm sure now that we got this going, I'm sure we will be getting to probably roughly an episode a week. That's what we're going to be shooting for anyway. So be on the lookout for more episodes, guys.
Right on. Be excellent to each other.
Crack a beer for your bros.
Party on.